Please subscribe our channel and press bell icon.
Today I am going to explain a film called Crash. James and Catherine Ballard are a married couple living in Toronto. They have long lost interest in each other and are constantly cheating. Passionate about aeroplanes, the woman does it with an instructor in one of the hangars. At the same time, the husband, who works as a film producer, is cheating on his wife with her assistant. When they meet at home, the couple amuse themselves and discuss the details of their extramarital affair. One day James stays late at work and returns home at night. While studying the script, he gets distracted and loses control, causing him to swerve into the oncoming lane of traffic and collide with a car head-on. Dr. Helen Remington survived thanks to her seatbelt. Trying to unbuckle herself, she accidentally exposes her bubbles and excites James. Because of his injuries, the man is admitted to hospital. Here he is visited by his wife, who tells him the details of the accident and what the cars look like after the collision. They experience excitement and fondle each other. A few days later James meets Helen and also meets a man called Vaughn. He is interested in the machine fixing the broken bones in James' leg, so he takes himself some pictures of the aftermath of the crash. A short while later the man is discharged from hospital and returns home. Watching the cars from his balcony, he notices that the traffic is heavier than it was before the accident. But this doesn't frighten him, and James wants to get back behind the wheel as soon as possible, so he buys exactly the same car as the one he had before. Wanting to see the aftermath of the accident, he goes to a police car park and finds a wrecked car. Once inside, he soaks up the energy and pays attention to every detail. Helen also comes here looking for her car, but has never been able to find it. James gives Helen a lift home as the girl is afraid to drive. On the way they are cut off by a speeding driver and the couple get into a minor accident. Excited by what happened, they arrive in the car park, kiss and make love in the driver's seat. A couple of days later, James and Helen realize that their romance is ignited by the shared experience of a car crash. The couple go to Vaughn's play. The man presents James Dean's car and recreates an authentic picture of the car crash in which he said goodbye to his life. Using the original cars and professional stuntmen, he replicates the famous accident and thrills the audience watching. Colin Seagrave is injured during the collision and Helen rushes to give him first aid. They are scared off by the police who arrive on the scene, but the stuntman, Vaughn, and his new friends manage to escape. Arriving to safety, James and Helen meet similar victims who have survived the accident. Gabrielle is a beautiful woman with prosthetic legs. Locked in a workshop, Vaughn shows James the photos from the girl's accident and tells him that he is intensely interested in reshaping the human body through the use of modern technology. Time passes and James tries to get back to normal life. On leaving work, he sees his wife driving away and decides to follow her. Noticing a crazed Vaughn chasing her in an old black Lincoln, the man tries to stop the stalker and protects his beloved. In the evening the couple retreat and make love. In the process Catherine does not worry about what happened during the day but dreams of Vaughn, asking her husband about him. The woman is interested in the crazy stranger and wants to see him without his clothes on and touch him. After secluding himself in the car with Helen, James makes love to the girl, after which they head home to Vaughn. Becoming followers of the madman, they realize that the car is not just a passion but a sexual fetish. The pair soon realize they have become obsessed with road accidents. Watching crash videos, they become horny and fondle each other. Helen can't control herself, so she touches not only the perpetrator of the recent crash, but also Gabrielle. After watching the accidents, Vaughn gives James a ride home. On the way, he purposely distorts the car into a bump and miraculously avoids a car accident. After showing his new photos to a film producer, Vaughn talks about his plans for the near future and dreams of recreating a large-scale road accident. Spotting the easygoing maiden, the man stops and offers her money for a few hours together. The pair settle down in the back of a convertible and James gets behind the wheel of a Lincoln. Driving around town, he peeks at the couple in the rearview mirror and gets excited about driving the battered car. A little later the police interview Vaughn and believe he is at fault for hitting a pedestrian. James is convinced of the man's innocence, as he doesn't care about ordinary people who don't have vehicles. Noticing Vaughn's distorted body, Catherine becomes agitated and won't let the men leave without her. On the way they see a massive car crash. Grabbing his camera, Vaughn takes a few pictures and asks her to stop. After jumping out of the car, he takes a few more photos. Soon Vaughn finds Colin's body and realizes that he did manage to recreate the famous crash, successfully ending his career as a stuntman. In the meantime, the rescuers ignore the strange bystanders, cutting metal and rescuing people held hostage by their own cars. Back at Lincoln's, James notices that the victim's blood has got on him. So that Vaughn doesn't get in trouble with the police, he suggests they drive to a car wash and eliminate the evidence. On his return home, the husband kisses his beloved, who is left bruised on her body. Trying to get her life back on track, Gabrielle goes to a car dealership with luxury cars. She tries to get into the Mercedes, but her prosthesis accidentally snags the seat upholstery. The manager tries to help, but accidentally tears the seat, which arouses the girl, who caresses James sitting next to her. Feeling a fleeting passion, the couple seclude themselves in an old car in the car park and decide to have a bit of fun. Examining Gabrielle's contorted legs, the man becomes aroused and gives her a couple of minutes of pleasure. A short while later, Vaughn calls James at work and tells him about a new project. It turns out that what matters to him is not the human connection to technology, but the revival of the philosophy that a car crash is not about destruction, but about the process of creating something new. The crash is pure energy, forming the link between this world and the beyond, which is why it is so valuable. The men get tattoos reminiscent of past events, after which they retreat to Lincoln and satisfy each other. A couple of days later, Catherine informs her husband that her car is damaged. Stroking the dent, James realizes it's the work of his crazy friend. Going for a stroll around the city at night, the man notices the lack of cars and it worries him. Soon Vaughn begins to pursue them. He tries to cause a car accident, but in a ridiculous accident flies off a bridge and falls onto a bus. The collision catches fire in the Lincoln and the driver is taken to the next world. The next day, a married couple tries to claim Vaughn's car and wants to keep it. In the meantime, Gabriel and Helen find the Lincoln and amuse themselves in the back of the car. Having taken over the old convertible, James drives like a real daredevil and nearly causes a couple of car accidents. Catching up with his wife, he pushes her around a few times. Catherine fails to keep control and flies off the road. The man didn't mean for this to happen and rushes to his beloved's aid. The wife manages to get out of the car and seems to be okay. Once again experiencing the excitement of the crash, the couple make love on the grass near the overturned car. Please like and subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new movie recaps.